So there's only 4 of us today. That's because a few of us had other things to do today, unfortunately. Hopefully it's not the same next week, but we'll see. Anyway, so today's episode was about Maud's new boyfriend, which going into it, I was wondering, were they going to, add a new character as they did, or were they going to try to, pull some other character out of the show and make it work? But no, I'm glad they went with a new character with a relatively unique personality. I thought there's quite a few funny moments with that. What'd you guys think?
I thought it was really good. Maud's boyfriend went total edge.
Oh, I forgot to change the title of the stream. I apologize about that.
Yeah, it's okay.
How do you mean edge?
Maud's boyfriend was kind of edgy.
Edgy?
And
What?
Edgy.
I wouldn't describe him as edgy. He was more literal than anything, I think.
Yeah.
Technically, that is not what edgy means.
So that's gonna be like a meme for like a week, and then everyone's gonna be so sick of it. Everyone's gonna moan and groan whenever someone tries to say the word technically again.
I already know something I'm gonna do with it. I just need.
I
need to get an upload of the episode as soon as possible, and I'm going to make a meme.
I liked the opening for the laugh floor thing when everybody stopped laughing at Maud. I was like, oh wow, that's sad.
Yeah, I thought it was. I love Maud's comedy routine. There's a bit of racism in there. She's an edgy comedian.
I like how when Pinky rolled up there saying, "Oh, isn't Maud the best comedian?" and everybody just started laughing and took that as a joke.
Yep. They laughed when I said I was going to be a comedian, but no one's laughing now.
It reminded me of SpongeBob a little bit.
Yeah, pretty classic joke there. So yeah, I like the opening. And then after that, all right. So I like the opening, and I like how Maud's comedian routine. But then after that, I didn't really like what the episode did next, and that was the hide and seek montage. Really felt like the epitome of filler to me. I don't know. What you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I pretty much agree with that.
It was. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I had some funny moments in there, some funny visual gags from Pinky, but really, that really came it just felt so blatantly filler to me.
Also, I'm pretty sure they have used that before.
Yeah. Did they use the milk carton gag? I don't have a picture. I just see posters.
I mean, when I saw Maud's boyfriend, I was just like, oh wow, this is gonna be interesting. Yeah, and I noticed a Great Gatsby reference in this.
Oh, really?
The two characters that were on the water boat.
Huh. Yeah, I didn't get that.
Taco and Starstride mentioned that when we were watching it. I was like, wow, I didn't know that.
Huh, good catch. And then we jump right to Starlight trying to mediate the dispute, which I thought was interesting because she ended up being kind of useless in this episode. There was one moment towards the end where she tried helping. I'm not going to skip the screenshots just yet, but she tried helping, and Pinky was like, no, and ran away. It's like, good job, Starlight. So that was a little bit funny there, but other than that, I'm not sure why she was in this episode.
I mean, that's more on Pinky for not letting her help her.
Yeah.
I like the part with the floating heads. And
Let me see if I
the
can figure
floating
that.
I never learned how to read. That part just got me.
Instead, he wins the race.
I'm not really sure where that one.
wins the race.
All right, so I guess there's something going on deeper here that the episode I don't think did a great job of explaining, but I guess the problem here is Pinky's internal struggle with questioning everything she knows, and I feel like they could have pushed that a little further, but I don't know. I guess it's interesting what they did with it.
It's really an episode about having insecurity, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do wish they pushed it a little more. We should have seen a Pinkamena. That would have made it great.
Also,
yeah.
what was up with Maud's boyfriend with all the digital the screens and stuff? I'm like, what is that?
That was a reference to Sherlock Holmes. That's his mind palace. Anybody who watches that will probably recognize it.
I don't know. The first thing that came to mind was Heavy Rain.
He said the word. He said the words mind palace. He actually said that. That's exactly what it is in Sherlock Holmes.
I just don't watch Sherlock Holmes, so I wouldn't know.
Oh, okay. But yeah, no, I'm
Heavy Rain came to my mind.
99% sure it's Sherlock Holmes, which kind of
Yeah,
an older
I mean,
reference.
I'm not-
That show's a little old now, isn't it?
I mean, I'm not doubting you, but the first thing that came to my head was Heavy Rain, the dude with the detective and all that sort of
I do
thing,
think
the
I
virtual
remember.
reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe that's the visual they were going for, because in Sherlock Holmes there isn't a visual like this. So yeah, this is something different.
Yeah. I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
A little pandering, but still.
Yeah.
I like.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I like Nick Confoli's work in this episode. I thought it was pretty good.
Oh yeah, it's funny.
Who
Just
is
during
that?
during our last call, we are talking about some of the better writers, and Nick Confalone came up, and it was like, I wonder who's writing the next episode. Oh, it's Nick Confalone. Like that was a nice little surprise we had during one of our calls, and yeah, I like him as a writer too.
Yeah, I think I give him credit for those flying head things and the writing towards it. Yeah, that was pretty good. I think that's going to be a meme in the Brony fandom.
Oh yeah, they kind of had that somewhat new animation style going here. That's gonna be like kind of like the pointy ponies with the pony legs from Candlelight Wedding. I think that's gonna be a new animation style from fan animators.
I think
Yeah,
I'll
I
be
don't think it's gonna take off like the Pointy Ponies because we have yet to see something that gains as much popularity as them.
Really?
I think-
What? They're everywhere.
I like their. I like
Yeah.
the.
That's what I'm talking about. The Pointy Ponies are everywhere, and therefore I don't think these things will become nearly as popular.
I don't
Because
know.
we have yet to see an alternate animation style that was introduced in the show, except for the the normal style that that ever became as popular as the Pointy Ponies.
If we don't, even if we
I-
don't see many animations, I predict we'll see some art of it at least.
I honestly
Yeah.
think. Honestly think that was the design they went for because that's how Pinky sees them.
As
Maybe it was
caricatures.
like- yeah, exactly.
They kind of are.
Yeah.
So then
Wait,
then Pinky.
Is Pinkie Pie
hold on.
stupid?
Um,
Pinkie Pie's kind of like crazy in her mind. She's predicting stuff that
Well,
might happen, but Maud really.
technically-
Well, there is like a deep psychological
Technically,
issue going on
Pinkie Pie
here.
is outright insane.
She
It's-
is questioning everything she knew about herself and her friends and her sister. You know, this would have been a great Pinkamena episode. I really don't know why they
It's,
didn't.
it's
do it.
basically just insecurities, and usually we've had this before where her insecurities took over and she turned into Pinkamena.
Oh, by
Well,
the way, who?
she's only ever been Pinkamena once, I think, though, right?
Yeah, wasn't that because
Yeah.
of insecurities? Wasn't that
Maybe
another
that
case?
Well,
of
she thought her
insecurity?
friends didn't like her anymore or whatever. That was season.
Yeah, it was like a
that's-
mix of anxiety and
That's season
insecurity. I think.
2, right? Or was that season 1?
That was season 1.
Dang. Yeah, they really
Which
should have brought
part-
back Pinkamena. Anyway, I'm
I
gonna
think
stop harping on
actually. Yeah, yeah.
that. So she returns to the farm and gets a lesson from her sisters, which I thought was really cool.
Mm,
It's a geode metaphor thing. That was
Yeah,
pretty
geo.
straightforward.
Ah,
And then they're just friends. So I was a little disappointed in the ending. Like I said, I was really hoping they'd push us to the limit. I wanted to see full-on Pinkamena, but no, it was pretty straightforward. Learn a lesson, make friends
yeah,
sort of episode.
I did. Yeah, I did not know Pinkie Pie was gonna go back to the rock farm, and then when she said, "Oh, bad morning," and I'm like, "Oh wow, you really broke her."
Yeah. Well, no, they didn't really break her. That's what I'm saying. They didn't push her far enough. Anyway, then the conclusion was Maud didn't want to be at the surprise party, so they made like a cardboard cutout of her to be like a stand. I thought that was really weird, but okay, I guess it's funny.
it's Mod. It's
Yeah.
Mod. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I thought that
It's
was kinda
Maud
nice.
Pie.
I can kind of relate as an introvert. Like, yeah, I'd love to watch a surprise party from a distance.
Same.
I think I can sympathize with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, someone has a good question. Who voiced Mudbriar? Anybody know?
Yeah, we gotta know.
Anyway, all right. I guess we're ready to jump into individual reviews and ratings. You want to start us off, Drummer Shy?
Absolutely. I really like this episode. I'm gonna watch it again and again because it was so good. I loved Pinkie Pie's character in this. Liked Maud as well because Maud is best rock character. Woo. I liked Mudbriar. Mudbriar was really good in this. I just liked his total like low enthusiasm, but it was also funny if you were like thinking about it. I'm gonna have to give this episode a 9 out of 10. I
Wow.
would totally watch it again.
All right.
Hmm.
9 out of 10 from Drummer Shy. Magno Master, what did you think?
Okay, so I did enjoy it. I paid attention to one thing with Maud Breyer, and that is I noticed early on that no matter what, he wasn't bringing up anything emotion related. He was even when he was asked things like, "Oh, how did it go?" He didn't really say anything, and he only said, objective truths about how things went, and the only time where you said anything emotional related was in the end when Pinky finally brought him that branch or whatever it was, and they became friends. So I thought that was a nice touch, and that gave that moment a bit more meaning, considering up until then he had not expressed any type of emotion in any direction whatsoever. And, well, overall, I liked how they did what they did. So the topic with the inner struggle, the self-doubt, that's always a meaningful topic, and I find it pretty relatable, to be honest. And I'd say overall I would give the episode 7.5.
All right.
It was really good.
All
All right.
Shady, what'd you think?
I thought it was a really good episode. I kind of liked how it kind of hit close to home for me because, like, insecurities, I can kind of relate to it. And I can kind of relate to Pinky as a character. I deal with insecurities and anxiety from time to time. And I really liked I got a lot of laughs out of this episode, especially the one with the caricatures with Twilight saying, "I never learned how to read." Like that one really had me laughing for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I like the new character. I kind of like Mudbriar, and I like how their Maud and Mudbriar are they make a good couple, in my opinion, and that's really all I have to say about it. Like, I would give this episode an 8 out of 10.
All right. Wow, you guys are gonna hate me. So, all right. First of all, really quick, a redundum. I want to say last week's episode I rated way too low. I was in a bad mood that day. But even with that said, this week I'm also kind of feeling a little bit of the same way. I don't know if it's because I woke up too early and got on the wrong side of the bed or what. But drummer, could you mute your mic?
Yes, sir.
But I thought this episode, like I said earlier, there was that blatant filler, which, I don't know, I guess it was an excuse to have some funny Pinky moments, and I got to rewatch that, and maybe they were funnier than I remember, but I don't know, it just felt like filler to me. We have some, it feels like the episode relies a lot on past history of the show. For example, Maud smiling is kind of a big deal. The show is just going to throw around now? Okay, I don't know. Because that's only a big deal because in previous episodes she would, not smile except for, maybe 1 or 2 moments with Pinkie Pie. And now she smiles more regularly with her boyfriend, which makes sense. It does make sense. I'm not saying she shouldn't be able to smile. But that's just an example of one of the elements of the show that relies on, the history of the show. And I feel like episodes lately aren't really setting down their own history. They're kind of relying on the show too much. And what was the other example? I had a better example of that. I forget what it was. Oh, well. But yeah, as a whole, the episode was pretty enjoyable. It felt like a good, straightforward episode. I don't want to use the word simple, but kind of that is the word I would use to describe a lot of these straightforward episodes. You got your obligatory Starlight, but it was nice to go back to the farm and see Pinky's other sisters and how they were the ones to offer the advice. I like that a lot. And there were a lot of funny moments, like, the caricatures above Pinky's head. I didn't learn how to read or whatever. But, that was the example. That's only funny because we know of her as Book Horse, I mean, I don't know how many of these jokes would stand on their own if it wasn't for being longtime fan of the show, which is good in moderation, to have those kind of jokes that longtime fans get the most. But yeah, I don't know. It felt I don't want to say weak, but it just felt like a okay kind of episode to me personally. So I'm gonna give this one a 6.5 out of 10.
A 6.5?
Yeah, and of course these are all first impression reviews and ratings. Last week I admit I gave it way too low. Last week's episode was fine, and this week 6.5. Maybe it'll go up, maybe it'll go down. We'll see. Anyway, let's calculate the average for the live stream rating. And you want to give us a drum roll? Yeah, give us a drum roll. Okay, the average is a 7.7. So I guess we'll just call it an 8. You want to just call it an 8?
Yeah, round.
All right, we'll round up. It's an 8 out of 10 from the Little Shy live stream reviews. Thank you everyone for stopping by.
By the way, can I bring up one more thing that I forgot?
Sure.
It was nice to actually see Limestone Pie in a situation where she wasn't an insufferable. Yeah, okay, my vocabulary is too small to come up with something that is PG, but you probably get the idea.
Wait,
Well,
Maud? You
I
thought Maud
liked
was
it.
annoying?
No, Limestone.
Oh, Limestone. Which one? Limestone is okay.
It was nice. It was nice to see her, in a situation where Limestone was not an insufferable, whatever.
No, she was really great in this episode. I liked her a lot. Anyway,
Mhm.
thank you everyone for stopping by. Hope to see you next time. Next week, everything's good for next week. A week after that, I'm going to be busy, just a heads up. But, hope to see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.
Haha! Bye!